Okay, so keeping with the theme I discussed on my last video, this is going to be the first item that I offer. This is a 896 megabyte Nvidia Geforce GTX 260 Core 216, which I believe was the nicer version of the 260. I just spent about 45 minutes messing around with some games on this card. I ran Halo, the original. Believe it or not, I was actually kind of surprised it was able to run on Windows 10, but it did. Clearly, that maxed out at ridiculous frame rate. Of course, I mean it was 10 years, 9 years, something like that before this card even. I did also test it with Crysis 2. Which performed basically as I would expect. It was, I ran it at high at 1080p resolution, which had a little bit of a frame rate penalty. You could probably run it at low or medium, and as bad as having to run a game at low sounds. Crysis 2 looks fine at low as long as you have it at your native res and you're not struggling to run it even at low. But at medium, which would probably be the happy middle ground, I'm guessing you'd be sitting at 45, 50 FPS, which on some of these older high-end AAA titles, you don't have to hit 60 FPS for it to look good. I know everybody's obsessed with that, but it doesn't have to hit that. This is also certainly enough to run like Blu-ray content, any sort of 1080p. It does have 2 video outputs, or technically 3, but nobody uses S-Video. It's basically worthless. You've got 2 digital video outputs. It has dual 6 pins. I would hesitate to say I would recommend doing so, but I have run these, assuming the rest of your parts aren't insane. I have run these at as low as like 350 watt power supplies if it's a decent 350. Like if you've got one of those old Antec 350s that has a single 6 pin, you could get away with running it with another 6 pin with an adapter. You just want to keep an eye on it, make sure that your power supply isn't getting too hot, and make sure you're not running it quite at the limit. I mean, if you know that the parts added up, it just doesn't add up, don't do it. But if you've got an efficient CPU and everything else is fine, you can definitely get away with it. Card's in decent physical condition. It definitely has some dust on the fan. I'm not going to take this apart. If somebody wants it for free, they can feel free to disassemble it. As far as I can tell, the card's a good working card right now, and my opinion is every time you disassemble a card, you're risking damaging it, so I really don't want to if I don't have to. So the initial way I'm going to do this is I'm going to offer it as free with the caveat of you have to pay shipping. I believe I can ship this card anywhere in the continental United States for, I don't know, I think like $10 or $15. I guess it depends on if I use USPS or UPS. I'm not a fan of USPS. I'll ship it that way if I have to, but every time I try to go that route, I never seem to be able to get the labels right, and I screw it up. So I usually prefer just to box it up, take it to a UPS store, give it to them, and say, make this go here. And I think even doing that, I think it's like $10, $15. Looking at the eBay value of this card, keeping in mind, I don't know the way in which those cards are tested. I do know that my experience with buying cards on eBay is that at least 50% of the people that say they're testing their parts either are not testing their parts or do not know how to test their parts, because I would say at least 1 out of 3 cards that I get on eBay does not work as advertised. And I don't buy, oh, it got damaged in shipping. A properly packaged card doesn't just die in shipping. It's somebody didn't test the card to begin with, and they were hoping that it worked and figured, well, I'll just give a refund if it doesn't. And I don't really play that game. When I sell parts on eBay, I actually test my parts. But in any case, they look like these are worth around $20 with free shipping on eBay. So $10 or $15 for the shipping for a tested card is more than fair from what I've seen. If if people are preferring, if there's even any interest in this at all, maybe there's no interest in this at all, but if what people are preferring is I do completely free giveaways, and me cover shipping and everything, I may look at going that route, but if I do, I will not be able to move as many items. So if I have to pay, I don't make a ton of money. You can see my shitty apartment here. I mean, I'm not getting rich. So I can't afford to mail out mass quantities of items. I could probably afford to mail out an item or two a month. If people would rather me go that route, I can look at doing, I don't know, I can post a thing. I want some new subscribers, 10 new subscribers, and I'll ship out a card. I don't know, some crap like that. But this is where I'm going to start it to see if people just have an interest in this as it stands. I'm not doing this to make any money. There will be no money made here. If I charge for shipping and shipping ends up costing less, it will be refunded. That being said, I'm also not doing this to be, permanently indentured to somebody because they paid shipping for a video card. So there will be zero warranty on these items. None. Zero. Nada. The only thing that you get is I did do some in-game videos with Halo and Crysis 2, which I will be uploading at the end of this. I'm going to do this as one long video. So after this, I will also have in the same video Crysis 2 and Halo. Shipping will be in an appropriately sized box with appropriate amounts of padding and with the card in an anti-static bag. And I will do probably a quick run of 3D Mark 06 or something along those lines last thing before I send these out. Keep in mind, me doing all of this alone is worth the $10. Okay, like people that say if this isn't your thing, great, but just keep in mind me having to package up one of these cards, drive it down to either the post office or the UPS store, put labels on it and all of that. That's more than fair. In any case, that's what I'm doing. If there's interest, let me know. If there isn't interest, I will look at the other options, and if there's no interest, I guess this stuff will eventually start getting tossed or going to a recycler. In any case, stay tuned for the game demo videos after this.
Well, that didn't last long now, did it? Perhaps you could exercise just a little more caution? Target gone!
Roger that. Stay sharp. Subject has been sighted in your AOR. Incoming fire! Contact! Oversight online! This is Sapper and Sapper. Target site. Assistance! Confirmed, Saffron 7. Sending reinforcements. Saffron 10, assist Saffron 7 immediately.
Primary target sighted in Sector Charlie.
Roger that, Hazel 1. Eliminate target immediately and secure perimeter.
Push forward! Copy. Charger, keep the... Not visual! Just uncover!
it! Covering fire! You can't hide from me! I'm on it!
Look sharp! Covenant dropship on approach! I could use some help over here!
I'm going in. I got your back, buddy. Get your run! I starting first! Over here! Roger that! My fault. Fall back, man! Hit the dirt! Save yourself! That's fine. Get the lead out, Marine! You are all gonna die!
Uh-oh! Another bandit dropping in behind us! They're trying to flank us!
Where are you going? That lifeboat's beacon is our only chance of getting reunited with the rest of the crew. We have to stay with it. We couldn't save them. I recommend that we stay near the beacon and wait for extraction.
Team. This is Fire Team Charlie. We read you. Is that you, Fohammer?
Roger, Fire Team Charlie. Good to hear from you.
Fohammer, we need transportation to the command shuttle.
I'm on my way.
Look, more lifeboats. They're coming in fast. If those lifeboats make it down, the Covenant are going to be right on top of them.
Fohammer, we need you to disengage your Warthog. The Master Chief and I are going to see if we can save some soldiers.
Roger, Cortana. Okay, Charlie Team, Warthog deployed. Saddle up and give 'em hell.
Roger, Fohammer. Stand by to evac survivors and transport them to safety.
That's affirmative. Echo 419 staying on station. Fohammer out.
This cave is not a natural formation. Someone built it, so it must lead somewhere. I've hacked into the Covenant battle network. They're actually broadcasting tactical data on unencrypted channels. We should show them who they're dealing with. Master Chief, I'm going to use your suit's transcom system to monitor their chatter.